No matter who you are a fan of, please subscribe to support me. Thank you, love you all very much. Who would win in a fight between Superman and Thanos? Thanos of Titan has arrived in Metropolis. Not stealthily, not silently, but with a skyline-shaking presence. His massive cruiser descends from the clouds like a living metal, looming over the city. The sunlight is slowly being swallowed up, and the once bright streets of Metropolis are engulfed in an artificial twilight brought by the Tyrant. On the roof of the ship, Thanos stands tall, a monument cast in pride. His gold and blue armor catches the light, reflecting off the tense air in dazzling rays. The Titan takes a deep breath, tasting the taste of victory in every line of his gauntlet. The Avengers have fallen, and he has come to claim the reward he deems worthy. Thanos' voice echoes like thunder through the buildings. People of Earth, open your eyes. Your time is done. I, Thanos of Titan, have eliminated the greatest warriors your planet could summon. From this day forward, this world belongs to me. As soon as the proclamation was made, a streak of light suddenly appeared in the distant sky. It rose high, shooting straight up into the sky as if to pierce the clouds, then suddenly swerved downwards at a speed that caused the air to explode into invisible waves. Thanos squinted as the streak of light rushed towards him like a falling star, growing brighter with each second. When it stopped in midair, just a few meters away from Thanos, the light faded and a familiar figure appeared. A man with black hair that fluttered in the wind, his skin pale in the afternoon sunday. His royal blue outfit hugged his muscular body. His red cloak fluttered behind him like a flag raised in the obscured sky. His stance made the entire space seem to stand still. His face was carved with strong lines, exuding an unwavering calm, but hidden deep in those eyes was a power that seemed to be waiting to be unleashed. Just looking at it was enough to make Thanos' smirk harden, then fade into a shadow of caution. Thanos roared, his voice no longer as easy as before. "What are you?" The man looked straight at him. His voice was deep, clear, and calm, as if nothing in the world could make him waver. "The people here know me by a name. I am the protector of this city, and I have come to tell you that your ship needs to leave the skies of Metropolis immediately. You are blocking our light." The wind blew hard. Red cloaks fluttered. Metropolis seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the moment when the two giant powers would truly face each other, Superman and Thanos. In a city shrouded in darkness, the only light left was the man who hovered before the Mad Titan, ready to protect Metropolis with his own. Thanos' anger exploded like a purple storm at Superman's warning. His eyes were filled with annoyance and arrogance, the arrogance of one accustomed to standing above countless civilizations crushed beneath his feet. His voice rang out, swirling in the air as if to crush the will of anyone who dared to oppose him. "Do you think you have the right to speak before Thanos? I am the Eternal Titan, the one who subjugated the galaxy. You dare to command me?" Superman did not respond immediately. He looked at Thanos with a strange silence, as if trying to analyze whether this arrogance stemmed from absolute power or from a soul that had forgotten its own limits. Only a slight wrinkle appeared on his face where his eyebrows met. When he spoke, his tone was so calm that his calmness became a weighty statement. "This is my last request. Leave that position, or I will force you to leave." Thanos smiled, a smile that was clear with mockery. In his mind, the challenge was nothing more than a joke. A human, no matter how strong, is still a finite being. How can he stand on equal footing with the Eternal Titan? Before he could finish his train of thought, Superman's body turned into a streak of light and shot straight at him. The violent collision knocked Thanos off the ship's landing platform, both falling like two bolts of lightning pulled from the sky. Superman used all his strength to push him straight into the road, the ground cracking into deep furrows. The Man of Steel hovered above, his cold eyes observing his fallen enemy. On the ground, Thanos was stunned for a moment, then rose like a beast whose brutal instincts had just awakened. He had absolutely no idea that the creature before him possessed the power to shake Titan. Thanos gritted his teeth, his mouth dry with anger. Then he spat hard into his armored palm, an action that was his own ritual, signaling that the real confrontation had only just begun. He rubbed his hands together, his muscles shaking, his neck twisting from side to side, creating a cracking sound like a hammer hitting metal. Then he charged towards the sky, where Superman was waiting. The first punch that landed on Superman carried the weight of the Titan's fury. The force was so strong that the Kryptonian's body was thrown into the air, tearing a long path through the air. Thanos didn't miss the opportunity, springing up to follow, delivering another blow that sent Superman crashing through the glass of a skyscraper. A series of broken glass pieces sparkled like meteors in the evening light. Superman spun in midair, regaining his speed in a few breaths. The wind whistled around him as he lunged back, his body a red-blue arrow with only one target on the one who had just hit him. but Thanos had already turned. He leaned out of the way, grabbed Superman's ankle with such force that the air shook, and slammed him into the street like a meteor. Superman fell so hard that the pavement cracked. Nearby cars jolted from the impact. A sedan was pulled off its lane, and Superman skidded, smashing the front end before his body came to a screeching halt. The people nearby panicked and rushed out of their cars, running for cover. On the road, Thanos continued to advance at a heavy but menacing pace. He took large strides, and each step the Mad Titan took made the pavement tremble as if something huge was pounding on the heart of Metropolis. He came, not with haste, but with the absolute certainty of someone who believed this battle would end the way he wanted. Superman still did not stand up, but his eyes were open, and in them, not fear, but the fire of someone who would not abandon the city he had sworn to protect. Superman barely had time to lean forward when Thanos' punch tore through the air, missed its target, and slammed straight into the frame of a nearby car. The sound of metal shattering rang out like the roar of a mechanical monster. At that moment, Superman spun in the opposite direction, using the momentum to deliver a decisive uppercut to the Titan's jaw. Thanos was knocked back, but only a step. For someone who had conquered countless planets, such a staggering feeling was rare. Superman did not let that moment pass in vain. He rushed forward like a red and blue explosion in the air and delivered a blow to Thanos' chin so hard that the ground beneath their feet shook. Immediately, another series of blows followed. A thunderous punch to the Titan's left cheek, followed by a hammer-like punch to the opposite side. Before Thanos could even catch his breath, Superman's knee came forward, digging deep into his steel abdomen. Thanos' body doubled over reflexively, his breath caught in his chest, and in that moment, Titan was forced to admit that the man before him was not as weak as he thought. But that realization did not make Thanos falter. For him, the strength of others only increased his pride in crushing them. His palm suddenly glowed. The golden light spread, compressing into a dangerous source of energy. In a split second, Thanos leaped forward, delivering a hook to Superman's chin that sent him flying off the ground. But the Titan didn't let him fall. He reached out with his muscular arm and grabbed Superman's head, forcing it into the asphalt, creating a deep dent in the asphalt. Then, with a powerful throw, Thanos threw him toward the office building a few dozen meters away. Superman passed through the wall like a red-blue arrow shot from a cannon. Bricks and stones exploded, debris flying everywhere. He fell into the empty floor of the building, hitting the long-abandoned desk, shattering it into many pieces. Not giving his opponent a chance to recover, Thanos kicked up and launched himself into the building. His landing shook the concrete floor, sending dust flying. He collapsed onto Superman, pinning him under his massive weight. Then the punches began to fall. Each blow was like a small explosion. The floor shook violently with each blow. Papers in the surrounding rooms were swirled up, swirling into white vortexes. Computers on desks crashed to the floor. The impact echoed through the empty space, sounding like a cannon firing in the heart of a steel tower. As Thanos' fists continued to rain down on Superman's face and chest, not only was the house falling apart, but the very air of Metropolis seemed to shrink before the brutality of the Eternal Titan. But even as he was crushed under a series of blows, Superman's eyes did not dim. There was still a glimmer of power in them that Thanos could never understand. The heavy punches that Thanos delivered sent a tingling sensation through Superman's body. Each impact felt like a small earthquake, sending a wave of pain through his muscles, blurring his vision and ringing in his head. Clark had rarely had to endure such brutality. But fatigue was never enough to quell his will. Through the dust haze surrounding him, Superman's eyes slowly opened. Deep within, a red energy began to swirl like two fiery pits about to burst into flames. He kept the heat concentrated in his pupils, compressing it until the air around him crackled with heat. Then the light exploded, a beam of energy so powerful it tore through the darkness, striking Thanos' face like a spear of light. The Titan roared, staggering as his arms braced against his burning eyes. And before he could even process it, more heat blasted into his chest, sending the Tyrant flying backward, hurtling through the roof of the building, with pain searing his flesh. Superman followed like a red lightning bolt. He caught up with Thanos in midair, putting all his strength into a punch that sent the Titan spinning like a leaf ripped from a branch. The next blow struck before Thanos could recover, sending him flying into the upper atmosphere. The Titan's heavy body sliced through the air and pierced the hull of his own ship. Pieces of metal fell like falling stars over Metropolis. Superman gave his opponent no time to rest. He lunged forward, punched Thanos away, then followed up for another punch. It was like a brutal game, as the Mad Titan's massive body was sent flying through building after building, forced to endure the storm of power from the Man of Steel. For nearly 10 minutes, Thanos was caught in a whirlwind of attacks so powerful that the air shook with each blow. But every game has its limits, and Thanos decided he had had enough. As Superman was preparing for another blow, the Titan's scarred hand suddenly reached out and grabbed Clark's face. The grip was so strong that Superman's jaw cracked slightly. In one brutal motion, Thanos threw his entire body to the white ground below. Superman crashed down like a red-blue meteor. Rubble and dirt rose in a large column of dust as his body plowed deep into the road, creating a wide crater and covering the area with brown dust. Thanos immediately followed. He landed on Superman with the weight of a falling planet. The impact created an explosion that echoed throughout the city center. The Titan landed one foot on Superman's head, the other foot plunging straight into his damaged abdomen, forcing the Kryptonian's last breath from his chest. He bent down, grabbed Superman's hair, pulled his head off the ground, and began to slam it into the ground repeatedly. A bang, then another, then more bangs like a sledgehammer hitting rock. The ground beneath them split open. Finally, Thanos threw Superman with all his might. His body flew far enough that it was only a fading streak of color before crashing into a giant glass statue miles away. The statue cracked open, shards raining down like silver rain. And Metropolis was once again forced to bear witness to the Mad Titan's devastation. There was a grinding roar as the massive structure collapsed, sucking in steel cables and sharp pieces of broken glass. All of it rained down on Superman like a rain of death, burying his upper body in a maze of scrap metal and lightning. Not far away, Thanos was struggling to keep his balance. The Mad Titan stood alone in the ruins of Metropolis, his breath coming in heavy puffs, but his gaze still blazing with the usual brutality. Only when he touched his dislocated jaw did he realize it had been dislodged. With a clean jerk, Thanos pushed it back, a dry snap echoing in the empty space. A streak of purple blood oozed from his nostrils and he wiped it away as if it were dust. Amid the smoke, Superman pushed back pieces of steel, standing up, his body covered in scratches. The force of the impact made his muscles tense, but the fierce light in his eyes was not extinguished. He lightly touched the communication device hidden under his ear, his voice deep and firm. "Bruce, this is Clark. I am in the center of Metropolis. I need backup now." Without waiting for an answer, Superman shot up like a green lightning bolt, cutting a streak of light through the smoky sky. As he passed Thanos, he put all his strength into his fist, swinging a punch that exploded in the air. Then he was gone. A split second later, he passed through again from the opposite direction. Again, and again. The furious rhythm gradually became a storm. Each punch was accompanied by a thunderous echo from all sides. The Kryptonian's power increased, his speed becoming so blurred that it was difficult to distinguish between man and light. He knew he could not overwhelm Thanos with pure strength, so he let speed be the decisive sword. 1, 2, 3, then 10, 12. The series of blows sent the Tyrant back and forth, temporarily helpless. Thanos' body shook, as if caught in the gravity of an ever-exploding star. However, his purple eyes did not panic. They moved sharply, scanning the trajectory that Superman left behind each time he passed. He waited patiently, almost coldly, for the single moment when his opponent's speed would create an opening. That moment came in an instant. A heavy sound like a hammer hitting metal shook the heavens. Thanos spun, his fist encased in gold metal, slamming into Superman's chest. The force of the blow knocked the breath out of him for a moment, and the Kryptonian's sturdy body was thrown back like a meteor. Superman spun in the air, trying to regain his balance. His blue eyes burned with determination as he once again launched himself at the Mad Titan. But as he closed in, Thanos raised his hand as if to draw a tear in reality. From the void in front of him, a golden vortex opened, swirling and swirling with light, as if an invisible hand were pulling the universe apart. Superman only had time to see Thanos' back step into the golden portal before it closed like a fold in space. He circled the area, scanning every plume of smoke and every piece of collapsed concrete for any trace of the Mad Titan. Everything was so quiet he thought his enemy had finally retreated. For a moment, the Man of Steel believed victory was his. That belief lasted only a breath. A cold air crept down his back like a shifting shadow. As Superman turned, Thanos' fury was upon him. The fist slammed into his temple, the sound of a hammer hitting stone echoing down the block. The blow sent Superman flying, hurtling through the air in a parabola-like trajectory. He landed with such force that it ripped through the pavement, leaving a long furrow before his body bounced back up. His hair was streaked with dust and streaks of dark red blood evaporated from his forehead in thin smoke. Pain radiated from his skull to his neck, but his eyes burned fiercely. The crimson light cracked in patches like cracks in the ground before a volcanic eruption. Thanos did not flinch. He had seen Superman use that power more than once. He clenched his fist, each knuckle rattling like hot metal being bent. A layer of golden energy crystallized into a glowing shield in the Titan's palm. Without hesitation, he charged straight into the expanding red light in front of him. The Kryptonian heat blasted out in a burst of laser, pushing the air out of its path. The first shot shook the ground beneath Thanos, but he dug his feet into the ground, pushing his weight down like a giant tree rooted in the deepest rock. Thanos slowly countered the energy with pure strength, his golden shield glowing in waves. He raised his other hand, firing back a beam of golden energy, creating a clash of light between two completely different forces. The battle seemed balanced, but Superman did not let up on his power. He poured more energy into his eyes, causing the red beam to expand many times, swirling like a plasma storm. The entire ground shook as his attack hit the shield. Thanos was forced back. Each step he took left a deep imprint on the ground, like the footprints of a monster emerging from the bowels of the earth. Still, there was a glint of excitement in the Titan's eyes as he sensed a level of power that few in the universe could produce. He refused to be pushed back forever. Thanos howled like a rolling thunderstorm, then added power to his own blast. He pushed back the red beam inch by inch, forcing it to curve to the sides. As the balance tilted in his favor, Thanos went from a walk to a jog, then a sprint. The massive body charged through the shower of light. Thanos didn't stop there, accelerating and slamming his shield under Superman's chin. The impact was so strong that the air exploded in a shockwave that expanded in a circle. Superman was propelled into the sky like a sonic boom that had just escaped its launch pad. Thanos followed immediately. He bounced off the ground, accelerating in the torn air behind him. His hands came together, golden energy gathering in the center of his palms, glowing like the heart of a molten star. When he passed Superman's height, he raised all his strength above his head and delivered a blow that could have cracked the surface of an entire planet into the Kryptonian's chest. A 12-foot shockwave shook the sky as the blow connected. The two seemed frozen in midair as Superman absorbed the pain, a twisted smile forming on the Tyrant's face. The Man of Steel coughed up a liter of blood before, like a rocket, exploding into the ground. Upon impact, fire and sulfur erupted from the ground. A massive explosion rocked the city. The ground shook violently, collapsing nearby infrastructure. Clouds of smoke and ash rose into the sky, shrouding entire neighborhoods in darkness. Beneath the clouds of ash, one could vaguely make out the shapes of two figures. Thanos had won. His face was streaked with purple blood, his armored hand was mangled in several places, but the Tyrant still stood tall, cackling maniacally as he grabbed his defeated opponent. Thanos pulled Superman by the greasy black tuft of hair atop his head. The Man of Steel's body hangs limply, battered, bruised, and battered, dragged across the ground as Thanos parades his defeated foe. So guys, that's it for now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Love you much.